It's recording everything.
Yep.
So it records what's on the screen, what we talk about, any drills that I show you. The whole thing gets recorded.
Okay.
And then you get a copy of this to go away with. Then obviously you can refer back to it as and when you want to.
Cool.
So just had a look at your swimming. We had a quick chat before you started. You said you think your CSS is about 205, something like that. Okay.
That's what. Well, that's when I've done CSS. It's been 2 minutes, but when I worked it out, it was 205, and I thought, well, I'll try 2 minutes and see.
Yeah.
So I managed to do. I can't remember what the drill was. Probably about 1,600 meters at that. So, well, as in a pyramid, not for one go, but So that was sustainable. I mean, so.
Okay. And I mean, I'll repeat myself because just so as we kind of get it all kind of on the recording as such.
Yeah.
When you were doing your warm up, you were doing sub 6 minutes for 400 meters pace, which is actually pretty damn quick. You did slow down a little bit.
Yeah.
I only timed one of the lengths. So you did drop off a little bit.
Yeah.
So it's to be interested to know how much you can sustain that, how long you can sustain that pace for. But people always kind of take off quite quickly at the start of things like that. But it proves that you have got some speed there. You know, so that is a good pace.
Okay.
All right. So start by a basic question then. What do you think is the thing that's kind of holding you back? What do you think is the major thing that's causing you problems, slowing you down?
I know there's something wrong with what I'm doing in the stroke, because there are times where I can really just glide and just absolutely nail the water.
Yeah.
And that goes on for about a lap, a length, maybe 2, maybe 3. And then whatever happens, I just lose out of that flow.
Yeah.
And then I kind of slow right down again. And it's trying to stay in that zone. Try and figure out what it is. Because like I said, I know there are a couple of technical flaws which we've got.
Yeah.
Fitness-wise, I probably could do with losing a few pounds, but you know.
But I mean, to be honest, with swimming, that doesn't really doesn't really make much of a difference anyway.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't actually do that much. Well, fitness-wise.
Yeah.
I mostly swim. I cycle to work, and that's about it, really.
Okay.
So,
right.
I guess.
Okay. And in terms of what's the kind of longest intervals that you would do in your training at the moment without kind of running out of puff?
At the moment, I'll probably do 400 meters.
Okay.
I used to kind of get in and do a kilometre straight off, but it's it's really dull.
Yeah.
It's really, really dull. So I just kind of just don't do that anymore, because I can't.
Yeah.
I can't face the fact of doing it all the time. And
Yeah.
It's that kind of jump miles thing as well. Which,
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Well, we can go through training plans and programs. So it's obviously much better to have some structure to your training.
Yeah.
And it does make the sessions more interesting, especially if you start using a tempo trainer and build some drills into your training and things like that. So it will start to make your swimming more enjoyable anyway. Okay. What I'm going to do then is play it through, and we'll pick out some key points and we'll discuss them as we go.
Cool.
So I noticed you're breathing bilaterally.
Yep.
Have you been working on doing that?
Yeah, about So when I started off about a year, been kind of making sure I do that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's good, because a lot of people can't do that for a start. We like to have the stroke nice and balanced. People generally have a bit of a lopsided stroke if they only breathe to one side. So what I'm looking for, first of all, really, is when we look at stroke correction, there's kind of almost like a hierarchy in terms of we look at things in a certain order, and we do that because you may well, just to give an example, you may well think you've got an issue with your legs sinking down in the water, and you try and fix your legs being low in the water.
Yeah.
Where in actual fact, your legs being low in the water may be caused by something further along the chain, i.e. lifting your head.
Yeah.
If you lift your head up, it's going to generally have a tendency to make your legs sink. So, and similarly, holding your breath and breathing and lifting your head and things like that will also cause your body position to change. So they're the kind of things that we look at first of all. What's your head doing? And what's your breathing looking like? All right. So, do you think you hold your breath at all when you're swimming?
I try and breathe out. I occasionally don't, but then make myself do. As in, kind of.
Okay.
from time to time, if I know, I probably did it on about the fourth length. I seem to remember about halfway down. So I held it and it's like, okay, no, breathe out.
Okay, yeah. So you're aware that you should be breathing out under the water.
Yeah.
Is that because you read some of the Swim Smooth stuff? Is that something that you've read somewhere? Or?
Yeah, I mean, it was just kind of. It actually came pretty much naturally after a while of getting into doing bilateral, and then all of a sudden it was like, oh, hang on a minute, I am breathing out in the water now.
Okay, yeah. Right, so what I'm looking at first of all is your head position.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what I can see here is the whole of your head.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's quite high,
It's quite high, so I can see the whole of your head, and you're actually looking quite a long way, almost backwards, if you like.
Yeah.
Now, there will be a reason for this, and it may well be that you're. We'll have a look at it in a second. If you're holding your breath, for example, then you may feel that you need extra time to breathe out and in. So you need that extra time with your head out of the water.
Yeah.
We'll have a closer look at that in a minute. The one thing you did mention to me earlier is your collapsing arm. Your arm drops away.
Yeah.
Now, as soon as your arm drops away, you lose the support, so it means you have to lift the head up.
Yeah.
All right. So, ideally, just so as you've got it on the recording here, what we should have is what we call Popeye head position. So your head position should be low in the water. So if I show you. Drills. If I show you this is what you should be. What I'll do is I'll put it on here. So this is where your head position should really be when you breathe. So I'll just pause it there.
It's like one eye in.
Yeah, one eye in, one eye out. If you keep your head down and low and don't lift it up, what forms here is a bow wave.
Yeah.
That bow wave comes down, comes round the head, and then dips down and creates a little trough for you to breathe into.
Yeah.
So keeping your head down actually gives you a little bit. It actually creates the space for you to breathe, and you actually don't need to lift your head too high.
Okay.
Now, this is Paul Newsome here, and what he does have here is he has his leading hand high, which again, we'll look at you for that in a minute.
Yeah.
So we can have a look at your breathing and your head position. So that's one thing we need to look at.
Yep.
So we continue to play it through. So we go under the water here, and you've just taken a breath. And now what I'm looking for is to see if you're breathing out.
Yeah.
Okay, and I can see sort of burst of bubbles there. Yeah, there's a constant, steady stream of air coming out. It looks like you're breathing out quite well there, which is good. Just taking another quick breath to the left, and you're breathing out there. So it's looking like you're breathing out nicely.
Yeah.
So the holding the breath and the breathing out doesn't look to be much of an issue, but you are still lifting your head.
Yeah.
Okay. What you're also doing here, looking very forwards. So your head, your eyes are, you're looking over in this direction, if not even further forwards.
Yeah.
Okay. What lifting your head here does, and also lifting out the water as we've just seen, is it causes the back end of the body to drop. Okay. When we there's two kind of basic elements when it comes to swimming. There's drag, so we want to reduce drag, and there's propulsion, we want to increase propulsion. Most people, when they're fairly new to swimming, the major issue is drag. You need to get that down. As people progress, then we kind of move more on to improving the propulsion. So one of the major things that people have problems with in the water is the drag of their legs. Okay, the legs drop down. And it's trying to figure out why that's happening. And for you, so far, it's because you're lifting your head, you're looking very far forwards. And then what we'll have a look at next is that the dropping of the lead arm. Okay, just continue to play it through. Your body position actually isn't too bad. Your bum is quite close to the surface of the water here. It's not like you're dropping a long way down into the water. Now what we do have here, as we can see, is a big scissor kick. All right, and we'll come on to that in a second. Scissor kick is caused by something else.
Okay.
Yeah, you can
See you there.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll take it to the end. We'll have a look on the way back. Just waiting for you to turn to breathe. Okay, so here we go. Look, we're taking a breath. Now what we can see is this lead arm is pushing down.
Yeah.
It's collapsing down.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not until we kind of get to maybe that position here, we're actually starting to generate some propulsion.
Yeah.
Up until that point, what you're actually doing is you're pushing the upper body up.
Mm.
And again, causing the legs to come down.
Yeah.
Although they're not too bad, in fairness. I kind of keep on talking about the legs dropping.
Right.
But that's generally what happens.
Yeah.
Just following it through. Your recovering arm is coming in quite flat, bringing quite a lot of bubbles down with it.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's pulling through straight. We'll have another look at a different angle of that in a second.
So there you go. I always thought I had quite a bit on.
Yeah, we'll have a closer look at that in a second. So I just want to show you what we should be looking at in terms of that lead arm, what it should be doing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm going to show you Rebecca Adlington, who's not too shabby at swimming.
Apparently not.
You may have heard of her. Now, I'm going to take her to a similar point here, where she's breathed, and here we go. Her recovering arm comes in. I want her to breathe to the other side so I can show you. Here we go. So she breathes away from the stroke arm.
Yeah.
Look where her arm is, and look what her fingertips are doing.
So dropping.
The fingertips drop, the hand drops, and then she bends the elbow. She's got this high elbow here, and then at the moment you can see this propulsion, this pushing backwards. Okay, so when she takes the breath, she's got the support of this arm here. Whereas when you take your breath, take it back. When you take your breath, your arm is going, it's going, it's going, it's going, it's going. Your head is still turned here, look, the arm is gone. Okay, so what we'll show you from above. When you turn to take a breath, look, you've got nothing at the front end supporting you. What's holding you up at the front end of the stroke here is absolutely nothing there. All right? That's why you're having to lift your head up to try and get yourself support. And that's what's causing this huge scissor kick here. All right? So we need to be working on your alignment. So trying to make sure that when we do take a stroke, we're staying nice and straight in the water. I'll show you, just to show you Jono Van Hazel. Jono Van Hazel is an Olympian, Olympic swimmer. So you look at how straight he is in the water. So what you're doing is, so your arms are, I'll show you Jono, the same arm. So his arm comes, recovering arm comes up. You see something along the black line there? It spears into the water in front of his shoulder. It extends forwards. So everything is going in the same direction. I've done the arrows the wrong way around, but I was trying to draw some tram lines. So he's travelling in that direction. If you look at your arms, what they're doing is they're kind of coming in this direction here. They're staying straight. I mean, it's kind of straight there. But because it's collapsing down, your legs are balancing up your arm, and they're trying to balance up the rest of your body. If that arm stayed high at that point, your legs wouldn't be doing that. Your legs wouldn't be doing that. So, in terms of alignment, if we can get you to line up by doing drills such as... I'm sure that moves every single time I open that folder. So kicking on the side, which you may have seen. So kicking on the side drill with fins, gets you used to being on your side, holding a nice straight body position, taking a breath look, and keeping that lead arm high while you breathe.
Okay.
All right. See how straight he is in the water there?
Yeah.
That's a very good drill for you. You can practice all sorts of things here. Taking the breath, keeping that lead arm high, exhaling out into the water. That's a really good drill for you.
Okay.
So we'll work on that.
Okay.
We'll also, as a progression of that, um, 6-1-6. Okay, which is a progression of kicking on the side, but we introduce a stroke.
Yeah.
Now, the 6-1-6, obviously, because it has you rotating, rolling onto both sides, it also helps you get used to proper rotation.
Yeah.
Okay. Because your stroke is a little bit untidy, you're a little bit arms and legs in the water. You need to straighten things up and get some nice rotation. Yeah. See when your arm recovers here, look how flat you are in the water. Okay, and that's why it's coming in wide and low. So sorting out your body positioning and doing this kind of drill, which will help you do a rotation, because you're exaggerating your rotation with this drill. You get used to rolling right over from one side to the other. And then see the arm recover nice and high, spears in, stays straight, you regain control. Really good drill for you. Okay, so again, just so as you've got it on here. Now you're going to go away with this. So I'm trying to show you some of the drills which you'll kind of progress through.
Yeah.
And it's pretty obvious really what's going to happen. It's going to be a case of building up. We then go 6-3-6.
Yeah.
I've already you now, but I'll come back to that in a second. 1, 2, 3. 3 strokes. So you start to become more like a normal stroke. You start to build it up. As that was crashed. Should be alright because it's still recording. So. Where are you? I think that's you, isn't it? So it starts to build it up into more of a normal stroke.
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
So 6 kicks, 3.
Yeah, 6 kicks, and then onto the other side. What we'll also do as well is, just to finish off, we try not to throw too much stuff at people, because if you overload people with do this, do that, you've got to fix this, you've got to fix that, it becomes too much. What you need to do is you need to have some quality work to go away to work on.
Yeah.
You improve those elements, and what you may well find is that some of the other stuff I could pick up on the video actually gets sorted out, because you've sorted out the alignment and the rotation and the head position and that kind of thing. Right? But what I do want to show you is kicking really is more about balance than it is propulsion.
Yeah.
If you're Ian Thorpe and you're kind of a sprinter and you've got size 27 feet, then you can get some propulsion from your feet. But in reality, for swimmers like you and I, it's more about having balance to the stroke. Now, having said that, it's still, if you're going to kick, you should still have an efficient kick.
Yeah.
Okay. So what I want to do is just show you. Have a look at your kick here. We know you're scissor kicking, and your feet are actually your toes are actually quite pointed, bending quite a lot from the knee.
Yeah.
And then you've got this little twist here as the arm drops.
Yeah.
It's not too bad, but let's try and tune that up, and try and do some work, do something else which will help you try and tune in to keeping those feet closer together. All right. So what I want to show you is ballerina.
Okay.
The ballerina drill, which should be in your side. Okay, let's try the other one. It's not in that one. I don't know why that's not in there. The ballerina drill is, I'll go through it with you here, is you do it poolside, and it just gets you used to pointing your toes and trying to flex from the hip. It's quite basic actually, which might not be in here.
Yeah.
But what will be in here is the torpedo drill, which is really the thing that where you will spend most time practicing. Torpedo push off. There you go. So again, you push off from the wall, and you're focusing in on keep having a nice strong kick, kicking from the hip, pointing the toes. And what you actually do is you focus on your big toes tapping together. So each time the feet cross, they tap together. If you're splitting your legs a long way apart, then that's not going to be happening. All right, it just gives you something to focus in on. And similarly, we can do another thing for you to kind of think about is almost kind of squeezing your bum cheeks together, because that has the same effect of pulling the legs together. So we'll do some work on that. Just to point your toes and just some things to go away and focus on in your own swimming.
Cool.
All right.
Excellent.
Okay. I won't go through this on here. But what I'll do afterwards is I'll send you an email with links to all the drills I recommend. To all the video clips. 30-day access to the SwimSmith app. And also links to training plans and a swim type guide for you to follow through.
So what am I?
It's
you brought it up.
It's difficult to say really. I mean, you are kind of a bit of an Arnie because you're trying to kind of battle through the water, but you have got a hell of a kick as well. So you're kind of in between an Arnie and a kick-tastic, I guess.
I was quite surprised at Arnie. I would have thought I was thought kick-tastic, but
yeah. Well, you're trying to power your way through the water. Yeah, you are kicking away. You're kicking away. But very often kick-tastics don't do much of the front end. They've got a very weak front end. Where in actual fact, you've actually got quite a lot of energy going into the front end of the stroke here. A lot of people don't fall into one of the categories. So it's kind of which you can kind of be an either or really. In reality, there'll be very similar drills across the two, but certainly for you, it's going to be working on the alignment and getting you all nice and straight in the water. All right.
Excellent.
Okay, got any questions or anything before I switch off? Get you back in.
Can I just see from front on?
Yourself?
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm just intrigued.
I will give you the raw footage as well.
Yeah. I'm just.
Where were we here?
That's a nice straight on. It was because it was probably about 6 months ago. I was been working on kind of high elbow and stuff. So I was actually intrigued to see how it's come on or not.
Okay. Well.
It really is straight, isn't it?
So we have a look at Rebecca. So it should be between 100 and 120 degrees. So that's what you should be looking at. So 100 degrees, Rebecca is at that point. We're at a slight angle, so it will be slightly skewed. The same with you here. So at a similar point, I mean, we don't really need to measure. You don't really need to measure it, really, do we? But you know, it's quite open. It's quite open. It won't be so bad on the other side. You know, you are bending the elbow, but your hand should be down in alignment with your shoulder, passing down beneath the body in line with the shoulder. You're very wide, and this is all caused by the alignment issues and your timing issues in terms of your body rotation. That will improve as we work through the things that we're going to look at. But I will give you footage, the raw footage as well.
Okay.
Do you have fins and all that kind of stuff?
No, I don't actually. So that was one of the. The only thing I actually have. Well, I've got to have prescription goggles.
Yeah.
And